When was the last time that you turned on mainstream media and saw a masculine man portrayed as a hero? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, if you can do me a big favor, smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and share the hell out of this content. It would be really appreciated. So let's talk about it. Men, they've been frowned on. They've been made fun of. They've been broken down. They've been attacked by the media. Let's not just look at it here now in the 2025, 2026 era, but let's go back in time, deep into the 1970s. It starts with Three's Company. And you start seeing how, if you watch this series, I think it ran from 77 to like 84, 85, you'll see the breakdown of man right there. It's a man living with, girls in a house, and he's just not masculine. They have stripped all the masculinity away from this guy. And it started really from there. That's where it started. The movement of breaking down men started right from there. You look at comedies now and you look at movies, and it's always the idiot dad, the clueless husband, the non-aggressive villain. It's sad, but it's true. And this is the state that we are in right now. And today what I want to do is really dive in and to see where this started, how it got there, and how it's approaching into 2026 now. And it continues to dial in this way. As we know, media shapes culture, and culture shapes how young men think and how they see themselves. That's right off the bat. We understand that. But here's the problem. Americans right now no longer trust the media. Gallup did a poll here, I think it was in 2024, and I think 7 out of 10 Americans were just not trusting media whatsoever. 2026, I'm pretty sure that number is going to be closer to 8 or 9. So we're going to be about 75 to 80% of Americans that just don't trust the media at all. Everyone is switching now to a little bit more dialed in podcasts where they're getting their information, and they're being a little bit more exclusive and specific on where they're getting their information, which I'm very happy about, because it used to be they were very set on memes and getting their information just from social media across the board. The problem here is that I say that 7 out of 10 Americans, but that's not the case when you speak to left-leaning liberals. As a matter of fact, left-leaning liberals are still at almost 100% that they trust what the media brings them. So now we have a problem of a mindset. We have problem with the way we're thinking. So we're separating ourselves from people who have common sense and believe in values and are a little bit more specific on where they're going to get their information from, to people who don't have values, who just accept what the media throws at them, and they go and they obviously live within that narrative. And these people I call sheep. When you don't have critical thinking skills, it affects across the world, everyone, because you're not able to decipher what is true and what isn't true. I mean, that's the name of the game. Many people say, right, like media pushes their own narratives. That's not a conspiracy. That is public opinion across the board. That's not something that I'm just saying here and people are going to be like, no, media doesn't push a narrative. They do. Everybody knows it. Some choose to believe it. Some choose to say, no way. We're going to start getting our own information through more reputable sources. So when you see masculinity portrayed today, we hear the word toxic masculinity. Even strength, power, confidence is labeled as toxic. And of course, we know that leadership is labeled as many times controlling. Traditional values are archaic, or even to some, they feel that they're oppressive. But I ask you this, if masculinity is really so dangerous, then why do we still expect men to run into burning buildings? Why do we expect men to go out there and fight the wars? And why do we expect men to really protect their families? Why? Because when the shit hits the fan, everyone turns to a masculine man. So why put them down? Why make fun of them and make them look like idiots? Because our world, our planet still revolves around strong men. And we're really doing a horrific job of bringing men up. We're almost discouraging the very traits that make men capable. And you know who's paying the price? Not me and you. The young men that are coming up in our world. These young men have no direction. And sure, as a good father, you can lead and you could be there, that strong bone for your son. But how many homes are fatherless? Nearly 40%. So how do we move the needle? How do we start changing? According to CDC, men account for almost 80% of suicides in the United States. Now, I want you to think about that. 8 out of 10 people that commit suicides are men. Why? Because men, they start moving in a direction. They're goal-driven. I like to say that they're wolf hunters. But then what happens is when you remove that and you take that away from them and you start disrespecting them, they lose their identity. And some of these men don't know how to circle back around. Some of them don't have that internal fortitude and that resiliency to open the door and keep on moving through it regardless of what people are talking or saying. Very few. These men fall into the pit. They feel left out. They feel depressed. And they really get to a point where they just become soft like mush and you can walk all over them. But hey, this is what society wants. What we're really watching right now is the creation of 2 cultural archetypes. The passive man over here. He avoids responsibility. He basically just, avoids any type of confrontation, doesn't want to compete. He lacks leadership. He's physically weak. He spits poison and hatred because he feels like that's his only defense. He doesn't train his body, certainly doesn't challenge himself in any way, shape, or form. He dresses himself like he gave up yesterday. And he's the type of guy that will follow trends. When things go bad, he will blame and point the finger at somebody else. The second archetype is the disciplined man. This I can get behind. This guy trains his body. He trains his mind. He sharpens his spirit, right? He dresses with intention. He speaks with a certain sense of confidence. He's articulate, has the responsibility on his shoulders, and he leads from the front. That's important, right? He has purpose. He lives with intent. He leads his family. That's disciplined man. These are 2 very different archetypes that are happening and growing right in front of our eyes. And the question really is, if you're raising children, which archetype are you going to build? What are you going to show these young men? Are you going to give them an opportunity to be both? Or are you going to stay straight as an arrow and help them become disciplined men? History teaches us a very simple lesson. Weak men create very fragile societies. Strong men, they go out there and they create stable ones. They do the work. And when men stop moving and creating and leading, well, families suffer, communities decline, people start getting confused about their truths. You have to pause for a moment because what I am saying here is not just something coming out of my mouth. It is a fact. Study history, study the generations in this country, and you'll get a good idea of where we are now in comparison. And you're going to really realize that, man, we are detached in a big way. When culture becomes confused about understanding what a man is versus what a woman is, we need more disciplined men in our society. Men willing to carry responsibility. We need wolf hunters, men who will lead from the front, that will go to battle, who would stand up for what is right, who will protect their house. And when shit goes bad, these are the men that we call upon, the men who step up. So I ask you to stop bringing these men down. These are the men who have built our world across generations and generations. And this is really what men need to hear. And this is important. And I want you to open your ears a little bit and focus on this. You can't blame media. You can't blame culture or politics, for the man that you become. At the end of the day, really, the responsibility all lies on your shoulders. It's not something that you just can say, well, today I'm going to take the responsibility of a man and then tomorrow I'm going to throw it in the garbage. No, that responsibility is on your shoulders. This is why men carry burden. But you can live a life that is productive with intent and be a stoic man, and knowing that no matter what, even if you don't want to get up in the morning, you still have to go out there and do the work, and you push yourself to be the best version of who you are. This, my friends, is a disciplined man. No one is stopping you from becoming this disciplined man. No one is stopping you from getting stronger, from living with purpose. That's your decision, only yours. And I'll tell you, when you're able to achieve this certain sense of discipline, you're going to find mission. You're going to stop apologizing for becoming stronger. A lot of people apologize for that, right? Oh man, sorry, I'm so hard on you. Sorry, I'm so this or that. No, you're going to stop apologizing. That is who you are. As a warrior man, that is who you are. You become unstoppable. Purpose-driven men equals unstoppable men. So I ask you something. Even though masculinity is being weakened in our society, can you overcome that and continue raising great young men and continue building yourself as a disciplined warrior? Now, that's the question. Can you maintain the course? Can you maintain your mentality and continue to build yourself as a disciplined man who will go out there and do what he needs to do to carry the sword and carry the torch across the winning line for not just for your family, but for everybody else's family? Because one man, it takes one man to lead the way. And if you are one of these guys that is searching for discipline, searching to be around great men with proximity and maybe changing the dynamics of his life, check out manofwar.us. Right? We've been doing this now for almost 9 years. Right? We have changed over 18,000 lives. This is my mission. I believe truly that I am doing God's work, helping men to be not just better, to be stronger fathers, husbands, leaders, visionaries, to be men who will step up come hell or high water. And this is part of our incredible Men of War Society Brotherhood, which is the largest, most powerful international brotherhood in the planet of warrior-minded men. So with that said, may God bless you.